Welcome to my YouTube channel, folks. This is Gerald. Hi. And this is my husband, Steven.
Yo.
Say hi.
Hi.
Yo. So what we're doing now, we're trying something new on live stream for YouTube. We're calling ourselves the Grumpy Gays because we have been together for what? How long, honey?
Too long.
Too long? No. How long have we really been together?
14 years.
About 14 years. So what we're going to do is we're going to have some fun, just telling a little bit about some of the trips that we're taking because this is a travel vlog. And one of the big trips that we just recently took was to England. So tell us a little bit about the England trip. What was your favorite part of that trip?
My favorite part was probably being in the city of Bath. I didn't know anything about Bath going into it. It had a good amount of history to it. We had a charming little hotel that we stayed in, and it was a very relaxing and invigorating and interesting city to visit.
But to speak of being relaxing and invigorating, did you take a bath in Bath?
I did not. I only took showers in Bath.
I took a bath in Bath. Well, anyway, my favorite part of the trip was not only the time that we spent in Bath just sort of touring the city, but also one of the best parts of that city is the actual spas, the Bath spas that you can partake in. And there's a brand new one. Well, it's not really that brand new. It's a few years old, but it sits on top of the city and you can look over and enjoy the beauty of the city while just bathing in this wonderful hot water and just relaxing. And they have salt rooms, steam rooms. It's a great place to visit. That's definitely a city that I would encourage you to do. But something else that we did that was really interesting was we visited the town that your grandmother was born. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so my grandmother's from Bristol, and we took, gosh, what was it, 30-minute train ride from Bath?
Yeah, about 30 minutes.
20, 30 minutes. Bristol is a pretty up-and-coming city. It has Banksy, so you can go walk the streets of Bristol and see the actual Banksy graffiti artwork on the walls. It also something to do with Wallace and Gromit, and everyone from Bristol is probably going to be throwing insults at me. I don't know if that's where the creators are from, or
I think that's where the studio is. The production studio is
so
there.
When we were there, they had all these Wallace and Gromit statues all throughout the city, which was really nice. But for me, the most fun part of that, of course, was I had all these stories of my grandmother when she was a kid growing up in Bristol. And so I got to see some of the things that she had seen.
Awesome. That's really cool. So anyway, England was a great trip. We went to Bath, we went to Bristol, but of course we know we could not go to England without visiting its main city, and that is the city of London. So for me, I enjoyed just walking around the city, going into St. Paul's Cathedral, and of course, taking in the Tate Modern Museum. That was really interesting. What were some of the things that stuck out in your mind?
The thing I most sorry.
See, he's silly, so it's hard for him to stay serious enough to talk about.
I can't take this seriously. You're like, tell me about the thing that you saw in London, England.
Are we going to argue in front of our fans? Go on, we can't.
I didn't say I wasn't going to do that.
Well, anyway, go ahead.
I don't want to make a travel brochure.
This is a travel channel. It is a travel podcast. It's called Gerald the World Traveler.
I thought it was called The Grumpy Gays.
No, this particular episode is called The Grumpy Gays, but the podcast is called Gerald the World Traveler.
Well, I think if it's going to have us, I think every episode is going to be The Grumpy Gays.
No, we can't do The Grumpy Gays unless you guys want The Grumpy Gays. I mean, this is who we are. We were trying to be nice at the beginning part of this whole thing, but the real us is starting to come out.
We're a lot more rude to each other.
No, we're not. I wouldn't say rude. We're a bit more snarky with one another. But at any rate,
London had so much to do and see, and we were there for 3 days, and we saw only a fraction of what there was to see. We saw a number of museums, many that were free, art museums. We saw, did we go to the Science Museum in there in London?
I don't remember for sure.
I took Rosier to that.
Okay. I know we went to the
but-
art museum, the Albert and Victoria Museum.
Yep.
We went there.
I love all the different sculptures and statues that you can find walking around London. And when I say sculptures, it's not like an actual sculpture like you would see in a museum, but like just the sculpted, like the doorways, the arches, the embellishments that are on the buildings. Everything has a very stately beauty to it, I would say. And those are very picturesque places.
What about the bridge, though? Wasn't the bridge really cool?
Which
the modern bridge, the real modern one that they had. Not
like,
London
I don't
Bridge, not
500.
not the what did they
So
call it?
yes, we did walk. There are bridges.
Yes, there are lots
We
of
walked across them.
Smart Alex.
I think everyone who's listening to this has
Yes,
seen a bridge.
of
But
course. But there's some
I don't know,
really
I mean,
neat bridges.
there's
though.
the Tower Bridge. That was of
Tower
course,
Bridge is really nice.
wonderful and beautiful. But we only saw that on the boat tour as we were going, I don't know, 20 miles per hour down the river. So we saw it for all of 3 minutes in a
Yeah,
very windy, cold boat.
but it was really nice though. We enjoyed
Yeah,
it.
I very much enjoyed seeing it.
All right,
Um,
so that's enough about London. So now let's talk about what's coming up. Our next big trip. Well, this summer we're not really doing too much. We're going to just stay home because we just bought this new house. So we're going to work in the garden. You're planting some weird fruit trees that I've never heard of.
Thank you. Yes,
You know, those
I
kinds
am.
of things. Of course, I'll be planting my vegetable garden. That's going to be a lot of fun. So it's more of a
Let's talk about
staycation.
that. I'm going to
rather
be
than a
planting
vacation.
pawpaw trees.
Okay.
I'm going to be germinating pawpaw seeds, and maybe in a couple of years planting pawpaw.
Does anybody out there know what pawpaw trees are? I don't know. It must be a Michigan thing because I had never heard of a pawpaw tree until I moved here to Michigan.
They're all throughout the eastern U.S.
So we
We're
had them in Philadelphia.
Michigan. Southern Michigan's about as far north as they get. No, they're probably not in Philadelphia. Actually, they might be because
I've
they're
never heard of them.
they're germinated by flies and stuff. So not so much bees. So I don't know. Maybe there's a niche
You're
in a
trying to
big
be
city
smart, and it's not
with all the
working.
flies and stuff.
Yes. Anyway,
But pawpaws they're very good when they're fresh. They're excellent when they're fresh. But they bruise very easily and they don't transport well.
yeah,
So
that's probably why
you'll-
you're going to plant your own.
Yeah, you'll never see them in a supermarket. You might see them in a farmer's market, which is where I found mine.
Yeah, that's possible.
Saved the seeds, germinated them, and we'll see.
That's
They're
true.
also very
That's true.
temperamental for their first few years of life. So I'm going to be giving
Babying them, taking care of them.
yes,
Yeah.
before I actually plant them.
Well, that's all great and fine. I'm ready to look for our next major vacation. Now, granted, family's coming up. We've had a lot of people at our house already, but my side of our family is coming up this summer. But the fun thing for me, the thing that I'm really excited about, and I will talk a lot more about it on our blog here, or vlog, excuse me, is our trip in 2020, in June of 2020.
We're going on a boat.
Yes, we're going on a ship. Don't call it a boat. You know, they don't like that. So I'm
Who's
looking
they?
at the schedule. Anybody who works in the shipping industry,
Are they
especially the cruise
I
industry,
hear cruise Nazis that are going to be like,
maybe
they're going to watch this.
they'll slap us around if
That's
we call
right.
it a
They're
boat. I
going
don't
to
know.
blacklist us, and they're not going to let us on the boat / ship / whatever.
Who
that we're
knows?
cruising
Who
on.
knows? Well, for those who don't know, here I'll show you guys so you can see it. I don't know if you can actually see that
Oh.
very clearly,
I
but
don't think they can see that clearly.
I'll move it out just
It's
a little
the Gulf of Mexico is what it is.
bit. Anyway,
With a couple of dots.
what we have is
We're going to Belize.
we're going to go. We're starting off in Miami, so that's where we're embarking on the ship. But then day 2, This is the Norwegian Breakaway, the NCL Breakaway. We're really excited about that. We've not done the Norwegian Breakaway. Our last
We're
trip was the
going to the
Mediterranean.
Caribbean. We're
Yeah.
going to lots of warm
And we're going
places.
to the Western Caribbean. We're not going to, like the normal.
It's kind of like the South Central.
No, well, yeah, but it's part of the Western itinerary. That's what they call it. So anyway, we're going to be at sea on day 2. Day 3, we're going to be Roatan Bay Islands in Honduras. Day 4, we're going to be at Harvest Caye in Belize. Day 5, Costa Maya in Mexico. Day 6, Cozumel in Mexico. And then day 7, we'll be at sea. And day 8, we disembark the ship. So it's going to be a really nice trip. And for me, what makes this really exciting is my mom, who is going to be going on her very first cruise, as well as taking a plane for the first time after, I want to say, about 35 years. So it's going to be a lot of fun. But that's what's coming up, folks. I just wanted to share this news with you. It took a lot to get this man over here to share the screen with me tonight. But I'm very glad that he did decide to do that. And if this is something that you would like to see more of and you think is fun, hey, hit us up and we might do a second episode. So thank you, honey.
Well, of course.
All right. Bye, folks. You guys have a great one. Thank you for
Peace out.
sharing with us. Peace out.
All right.